Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to reveal 11 shocking psychological facts about women that will completely change the way you see the world. Get ready, because 97% of men don't know these secrets and often face rejection because of them. But guess what? If you know these facts, you can join the elite 5% who really stand out. This isn't just for guys. These facts about women will make you attractive and hard to avoid. Before we start, could you do me a quick favor? If you want to find out these truths, click the like button to help us bring you more powerful Stoic advice. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button and ring the bell to make sure you don't miss our new videos. Let's keep this fun. If you like this topic, leave a note. If you think we can make Type Z better, let us know how. Now, let's get to these amazing insights that will change the way you think about women and relationships. First, women fall in love with guys because of how they smell. A woman is 85.5% more likely to fall in love with a man if she likes his scent, according to a study from the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro. Women have 50% more neurons in their olfactory bulb than men, which makes them more sensitive to smell. Knowing how to choose the right fragrance gives you a big edge in attraction. Watch the video until the end to find out which scents stimulate the senses the most. Second, research shows that women like guys who can do what they want. Going too far or being too assertive with a woman will almost certainly get you turned down. But if you show her respect while showing a touch of neediness or vulnerability, she will be more likely to make herself available. Building trust is key, and you should always pay attention to her body language and the signals or gestures she makes. Third, women often feel something when they are near you but may not say it. If a woman interests you, don't become her friend right away. According to one study, 68% of women said they would consider having an affair with a man if they thought they could get what they wanted. That's why it's important to make it clear that you like her right away. If you want to know more, leave a comment, and I'll tell you. Fourth psychological fact: women like guys who have already been chosen for them. Pre-election shows that when other women are interested in a man, he becomes 3 times more attractive. This also happens when a man is around a group of women, so I suggest making female friends and going out with them. It will change how other women see you. These female friends don't have to be interested in you romantically. Their presence alone can create the priest selection effect, which can make other women more interested in you and make it easier for you to connect with the woman you like. 15th psychological fact: if she teases you or gives you playful nicknames, it's probably because she likes you and is trying to build trust. Women often show their interest through body language and teasing. If you're really interested in her, I suggest you play along and return her playful energy. For example, you could say, "I know you call me that because you like it. Do you think I haven't noticed?" 6th psychological fact: women like men who can read their body language, whether they are aware of it or not. This is because not all men can read these tiny cues, but women can. Women are often shy and afraid to talk about their feelings because they don't think men will reject them, so they use body language to show interest. If a woman makes a deliberate gesture to show her feelings, she expects you to respond. If you miss her signals, she may stay quiet and move on. If you'd like to learn more about this interesting topic, psychological plan, post your question below. 7th, women care a lot about how they look when they are alone. They pay attention to everything, from the style and color of their underwear to how they look. When they feel threatened, they don't say anything, they focus on looking good. When you tell her how beautiful she looks, it will boost her confidence and make her want to wear more eye-catching clothes for you, which will make her more excited about seeing you again. Number 8, a psychological fact. When a guy emotionally connects with a woman, she feels more how it feels. Knowing how complicated a woman's mind is on a psychological level can make her happier during sexual activities. Women are less physically driven than men and need more mental and emotional excitement. Instead of being direct, try talking to her in a way that she can understand before you do anything physical. Take your time. Let her talk about how she feels, and show her that you understand her. This will help her feel closer to you, but be careful because it's a delicate process. Ninth psychological fact. Women often love their friends more than their partners. Some women have better emotional bonds with their best friends than with their boyfriends. Studies have shown that when women leave their partners at home to hang out with friends, they feel better because they know their friends won't judge them and will be there for them emotionally. This feeling of satisfaction can be mistaken for love. It's best to keep healthy boundaries between your partner and her close friends, because emotional betrayal can happen at any time. Number 10. A fact about psychology. According to polls in the United States, 38% of women have said they have gone on dates specifically for free food. This shows how complicated it is for a woman to agree to go on a date. Before you ask her out, make sure she's really interested in you. If you want to know more about how to tell if a girl likes you, leave a comment below, and I'll add them to the video at the end. Number 11. A psychological fact. When women are mad, they'd rather you talk to them. If a woman is upset or angry, she will feel better if you listen to her and understand why she's going through it. Women can be hard to read sometimes, but they are born with the ability to feel strong emotions. They aren't as emotionally stable as men, and both good and bad emotions can be very strong. Interestingly, some women are even attracted to men who hurt them because their strong emotions make them feel alive. In light of the first psychological fact, which talked about how sense can excite women, get to know the emotional games women often play. I'll talk about this dynamic in more detail later. Here is a list of some widely used aromatic essences. A study done in 2017 looked at how jasmine and lavender affected 3 groups of people. 2 groups of men, 1 group of women, and 2 men spent time with each woman. One wearing a perfume that doesn't have these scents, and the other wearing one that has a jasmine base. Women became much more interested in guys when they smelled like jasmine. For example, the well-known French Orphan and Pas Basque Eclectic both have these smells in them. Thank you for seeing the movie. Please like, subscribe, and leave a message until the end. Every smile hides a story that doesn't make sense. Are you able to tell the difference between a real smile and a fake one? People who change their stories a lot often have a facade that they work hard to keep up. Like chameleons, these people change their stories to fit the situation or audience. Their tales may change dramatically as they forget details of their fabrications or find new stories that better serve their purposes. This isn't an accident. It's often a deliberate strategy used to manipulate or impress others. Stories that change a lot show that the person isn't real. Real people who have had real experiences may forget small things, but their life stories stay the same. On the other hand, fake people often get caught up in their own lies and can't keep track of them. This kind of behavior can hurt personal, and people lose trust in each other in professional settings when they know someone is telling lies. Inconsistent lies create a toxic environment where coworkers can't depend on each other and bosses can't make good decisions. To spot these types of people, you need to pay close attention to what they say. Over time, patterns of inconsistent behavior will start to show up. This level of vigilance isn't paranoia. It's necessary to protect yourself from manipulation or deception. If you're not sure about something, ask for clarification. Often, someone who is telling a lie will struggle to keep up the front when questioned. Connections on the surface. People who are fake often value relationships that are broad over those that are deep. They interact with others more about what they can give them than about genuine affection and respect. These shallow connections rarely lead to meaningful bonds, even though they may know a lot of people. Their relationships are based on shallow exchanges like names and job titles, with no deeper emotional connection. They avoid deep conversations about hopes, dreams, or personal struggles. These self-centered interactions are only for social status, professional advantage, or other benefits. Fake people often move around in their social circles, always looking for the best people to hang out with. Don't underestimate the true worth of deep, important relationships that can bring you comfort in hard times and happiness in good ones. People who connect with fake people often feel used and unappreciated, which can make them lonely because they don't have any real friends to spot superficiality. Pay attention to trends and how people talk about their relationships. Do they only talk about what others can do for them, or do they switch the subject a lot? In social circles, too much flattery is also a red flag, especially at work, where it can give people a false sense of trust or hide their true goals. Fake. Some people see relationships as one-way transactions instead of two-way ones, and they often flatter others to get what they want or to hide the fact that they aren't good at what they're doing or committed. Compliments are specific, sincere remarks on real actions or traits, made without any expectations of return. It's important to be able to tell the difference between genuine praise and flattery if you want to spot people who are trying to trick you into not having empathy. Another trait of dishonest people is that they can't relate to others. Someone with a hollow heart can't really connect with others. People who don't have empathy often don't care about other people's feelings or needs and only think about their own wants and needs. This emotional distance is a big red flag in both personal and business relationships. People who don't have empathy have a hard time understanding other people's problems and celebrating their successes, may not care about the mental health of those around them or, in the worst cases, refuse to help. This lack of empathy can make people act in harmful or manipulative ways because they don't care about how their actions affect other people. This trait is especially bad in personal and business relationships because it makes it hard to make deep, meaningful connections. When the wants and feelings of one person are consistently ignored or undervalued at work, this can lead to one-sided relationships. A lack of understanding can make the workplace hostile, making coworkers feel unappreciated and misunderstood. To spot someone who doesn't have empathy, you have to watch how they act in different scenarios. Do they show real concern when others are upset or distressed? Can they celebrate others' successes without making it about them? Do they show understanding and patience when things go wrong? Getting answers to these questions can help you figure out if someone not empathetic, which is an important part of good relationships, abusing power. Behavior strings are for dolls, not people. Fake people often use others to get what they want, without caring about their feelings or well-being. This kind of manipulative behavior is a planned way to get other people to do what you want them to do. It can come in many forms, from subtle emotional manipulation to outright exploitation. This kind of behavior is selfish and shows no respect for others. Autonomy manipulators often know a lot about how people think and feel, and they use that knowledge to get what they want by using guilt, pressure, or lies. This kind of manipulation is especially dangerous because victims may not realize they've been harmed until it's too late. They may feel confused, guilty, or even responsible for the manipulator's actions. Manipulation can ruin relationships by making people lose their sense of self-worth and control over their lives. For healthy, respectful relationships to last, people must be able to spot and deal with manipulative behavior in both personal and professional situations. By learning about these tricks and taking precautions, you can help stop the bad effects of influence and encourage relationships based on trust and honesty. Friends for the weather. The fakes start up. People who are fair-weather friends or co-workers only show up when things are going well and leave when things go badly. This trend of being absent a lot during tough times is a clear sign of unreliability. These people are quick to celebrate success but are noticeably absent when help is really needed. This behavior hurts not only by not being there when things get tough, but also by giving people a false sense of reliability. When someone isn't reliable, it can make friends, family, and coworkers feel abandoned and ignored. In relationships, it can make people feel lonely and betrayed, and at work, it can mess up team dynamics and slow down progress. To find these people, you have to carefully watch them over time. It's important to see who stays loyal and trustworthy during tough times, because real reliability is shown in hard times, not when promises are broken. A castle built on sand, fake people often say they'll do something but don't follow through. This habit of breaking promises shows that they aren't honest or reliable. Making a promise is like giving your word, and breaking it shows disrespect for both the other person and yourself. It breaks trust and can do a lot of damage to personal and professional relationships. Broken promises lead to sadness, and when this behavior remains the same, people lose credibility and respect in personal relationships, which can lead to emotional problems. In professional settings, it creates an atmosphere of uncertainty and insecurity, which hurts one's image and can hurt job opportunities. It's important to set clear expectations and limits when working with people who often break their promises, so that they are held responsible for their actions. It's also important to keep yourself safe from the bad things that could happen because of instability, which usually means avoiding relying only on what they say. Too much self-promotion. A light that never goes out on fake. People often lie about their accomplishments because they are self-centered and want praise all the time. This need to promote themselves too much comes from a strong desire for approval and respect. These people often manipulate situations to keep the attention on themselves, ignoring other people's accomplishments or contributions. Some people want to be admired more than they show real confidence or a strong sense of self. These people often have a skewed sense of how important they are and think they deserve praise and attention all the time. Behavior that gets in the way of personal and professional relationships can be annoying. In personal relationships, there may not be enough balance if one person's wants and goals are always put ahead of everyone else's. As one person tries to stand out at all costs, too much self-promotion can make the workplace unpleasant and make it harder for people to work together. Focusing carefully is needed to spot too much self-promotion. How do people talk about themselves and what they've done? Do they always take over conversations? Do they lie or exaggerate to make themselves look better or more important? Could be a sign of borderline self-promotion and lack of sincerity. Putting your trust in your gut. Trusting your gut is a good way to tell if someone is being honest. Often, our guts can tell when someone is being fake before our minds can figure out what it means. May make us feel an intuitive feeling even if our conscious mind tries to ignore or make sense of it. But it's important to remember that instincts aren't always right. Past experiences can affect them. So while it's good to trust your gut feelings, they should be weighed against logical thought and observation. If you have a gut feeling that someone is lying, step back and watch how they act without bias. Look for patterns and signs that support or disprove your first thought. Unreliable gut feelings can lead us wrong, especially in complicated social situations where our prejudices and biases play a big part. Becoming more self-aware and understanding your prejudices can help you trust your gut feelings more. We can use our feelings to help us figure out if the people around us are real, but we should also use logic and careful observation along with them. By doing this, we get a better sense of the people we meet and interact with, which lets us make real, meaningful relationships with them. Figuring out what inauthenticity means is important as we try to handle the complicated world of human relationships. Real connections need knowledge and wisdom, and we've talked about some of the things that show us what people are really like when their stories don't make sense or when they break their promises. Each sign on this path is like a compass, but the trip doesn't end here. Our channel is all about helping you understand people and their relationships better. Join a community that cares about personal growth and authentic living by subscribing. If these insights were helpful, please like and subscribe for more enlightening content. Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Your story could help others find clarity. Let's work together to make the world a more authentic place. Remember that your intuition is your compass, and that being eager to learn is the key to relationship success. Every click, share, and registration helps us reach more people and share information that could change people's lives by teaching them how to deal with problems in a strong way. Sadism and envy are common behaviors that can stop people from growing personally in many places, such as the workplace, social circles, and even families. To avoid these problems, you can learn not to show your weaknesses, like a tree that stays strong in a storm even though the leaves and branches move around. This picture stands for quiet strength. We'll talk about how you can become even stronger by showing that you are not affected by problems inside or outside of you. Every task is a chance to grow like a tree. Not you will learn to control your fate by ignoring the storm and refusing to let the rain or wind get you down. Stay strong and cool. We'll look at 17 rules from the famous philosopher Epictetus in this film. I also want you to become more self-aware, because real power comes from the path's quiet illumination, not the noise of thunder coming soon. Don't worry about daily distractions. Instead, focus on the topic. The first rule: get ready to fail. The only way to move forward is to try. Epictetus's The Impossible. Being called an idiot is not something you should avoid. It's a chance for growth that will help you move up in your career. Overcoming problems is not a quick fix, but a long process of trial and error. We improve our path to excellence by working hard over time. The second rule: remember that death is waiting for you. This rule isn't meant to make you negative. It's just a reminder that death is the end result of everything you do. Knowing this might make you think twice about spending years of your limited life savings on something that can't go with you when you die. This point of view helps us make better use of our time and see losses more realistically. The third rule: listen twice as much as you speak. We were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. This makes us want to listen more than we speak. Epictetus says we shouldn't love our own sounds, but instead learn from other people's words. Starting today, pay more attention to what other people are saying than to what you're saying. The fourth rule: always be ready for the worst. Anticipating bad things to happen can cause a lot of stress. We worry about a lot of different problems that could happen with our kids, our work, our relationships, or our money. Epictetus suggests a bold but useful idea. Think that all the bad things you're scared of have already happened. This way of thinking helps lower stress by imagining the worst that could happen. Face the fifth rule and come up with ways to deal with things. As you move forward, keep an eye out for fortune's risks. The wealth we seek often brings in people who will try to take advantage of our good fortune. Besides threats from outside, fortune also faces threats from within. Come up with plans to deal with these problems while keeping your head up, facing problems, and being tough. What happens when you feel guilty? According to the sixth rule, guilt can poison our soul like a plague. This is connected to having a narrow mind, since most people blame others or themselves. But the wise look at everything with a bigger picture in mind. Modern therapists see guilt as a feeling that we should get rid of. They say that the best way to do this is to refuse to deal with it, because when we do, we tend to blame others or ourselves, which keeps us from taking responsibility for fixing our mistakes. Strong willpower is needed to avoid feeling guilty while taking responsibility for one's actions. Only then can one find real wealth and happiness. The seventh rule says that true wealth is being happy. Spirit Epictetus used Stoicism to explain happiness, saying that a wise person doesn't worry about what they don't have, but rejoices in what they do have. He said that complaining about what we don't have makes us feel bad and keeps us from appreciating what we do have. Focusing on being thankful for what we have accomplished makes us truly happy. Beyond material things, the eighth rule of learning is to cultivate humility. To truly learn, one must practice humility every day. Epictetus tells us to admit our ignorance and approach learning with the wonder and curiosity of a child. Bragging about how much we know keeps us from really understanding. Embracing humility helps us grow and learn more effectively. Responses and fate. The ninth rule is to remember that your actions decide your fate. We can't change the things that happen to us, but we can change how we react to them. Bad luck may happen, but how we deal with it decides how much we grow and how successful we become. What happens to us doesn't matter as much as how we deal with it. Building good partnerships. The 10th rule is to make friends with positive people. Just like we naturally stay away from people who are sick, we should also be wary of negative effects. Epictetus says to surround ourselves with people who inspire us and bring good energy into our lives. This choice affects our mental health and well-being as a whole. The 11th rule is to invest in simplicity. This is because even though luxury and wealth are appealing, they often come with stress and upkeep. Living simply eases the stress of financial obligations and promotes inner peace. Being rich takes constant work. but a simple life can offer more peace. Doing work carefully. The 12th rule is to always do your work with care. Like the sun rises every day, without expecting praise. We have to do what we need to do without waiting to be praised. The work we do is important for us and others, and we have a moral duty to do it well, letting go of things you can't change. The 13th rule is to stop worrying about things you can't change. We can change our thoughts, but we can't change our image or how well we do in the eyes of others. Epictetus says to focus on beliefs we can change and let fate take care of the rest, ignoring criticism and dislike. M. Instead of hating people who criticize you, the 14th rule says to ignore them. Remember that you are stronger and more important than their negativity. Don't waste your time on anger or hate. Get over the negative comments and keep your mind on what really matters. Adopt quiet. Wisdom for a strong life and ignore the people who try to bring you down. The 14th rule says to ignore people who are mean to you. Their negativity doesn't belong in your mind. We shouldn't be afraid of people who want to hurt us. Their attempts are just noise that we can choose to avoid. Getting stronger against these kinds of influences makes us more resilient. Getting value from problems. According to Epictetus, the 15th rule is to always find value in whatever happens. This means that we should not be sad when we hear that we are being fired. Instead, use the news as an opportunity to pursue that business dream you've had. By looking for the good in every situation, you will build momentum that moves you forward in life while staying in control of your reactions. The 16th rule is to realize that letting other people's thoughts and actions bother you gives them power over your life. Anyone who can make you angry is your master, but only if you let them be. We all have many keys inside us. Some lead to happiness and others to emotional ruin. To stay in control, put up a wall that keeps other people's bad influences from getting through to you. Everyone is in charge of their own words and deeds. Caring about real ties. The 17th rule says that friendship is more important than money. Real friends are a form of wealth because they can help you when your money runs out. By building real friendships, you make a wise, long-term investment that will make your life better. Stoic ideas help us deal with the problems we face in life. If you want to live a meaningful and strong life, Titus's timeless wisdom can teach you a lot. I hope this look at his rules has been helpful. Let me know which rule spoke to you the most, and if you have any personal experiences or thoughts to share, please leave a comment below. I read all of them. If you're new to the channel, please like and follow to help us grow and get more information. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date on new videos. Thanks for watching, and remember to use these principles every day for a more satisfying and resilient journey.